Hi, my name is Debbie, and today we're going to be doing Pilates with the mini ball. I have 3 different balls here in front of me, and you can pick them up at any toy store. They're very inexpensive balls. Just make sure that you get one that is strong enough to support your body weight. I have 3 different sizes, and I did that by inflating the balls at different dimensions. So the smaller ball is going to be a lot mushier than the larger ball. And then I also have a football. This is your typical Murph style football. It's very foamy, and it will be there to support the lower back. Okay, so we're going to start by engaging the abdominals and really feeling the abdominals work. Take your larger, firmer ball and place it open, and then think of pressing the belly button down into the ball. So you're going to contract and hold that contraction and then release, keeping the contact with the ball behind you. Exhale, press your belly button into the ball, keeping the shoulder girdle nice and wide. Inhale and release. Now we're going to add in a rotation. Exhale, press the belly button into the ball, then inhale as you rotate. Exhale, come to center. Inhale and rotate the other way. Exhale, come to center. Inhale and come up. Now that should have made you feel 3 different sets of abdominals. The rectus abdominis and the internal external obliques. Now, if you're a level 1, keep the larger ball behind your back. If you're a level 2, go with the smaller ball, and level 3, go with the football. So in other words, the smaller the ball, the further the body is going to go down and the more impact you will feel in your abdominals. Always choose the right size ball for your level of fitness. So if I'm going to use the football, I'm going to do the same move that I did before. I'm placing it right there in the small of the back. As I exhale, I press my belly button down. Inhale as I rotate. Exhale back to center. Inhale, rotate. Exhale to center. Inhale and come up. And if your feet started to pop off of the mat, then you're going too far down and you cannot support the movement in the abdominals. So let's try that one more time. Be really aware of keeping your feet down on the mat. You're placing that ball right in the small of the back. Exhale, push your belly button into the ball. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. Nice shoulder girdle open. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. Inhale and come up. Okay, now we're going to work into the 100. If you want to work your inner thighs at the same time, use the larger ball. It's a firmer ball, so that when you squeeze those legs together, it's going to be a firmer contraction for the inner thighs. If you don't want to work your inner thighs so much, grab the mushier ball. It's going to be easier to press against, okay? If you are not using the mushy ball, just leave it off to the side. We're going to take this football and we're placing it in the small of the back just to support our natural curve. You see, when you place that natural curve, your hip bones are pointing straight up towards the ceiling, and you've got that natural curve in the spine. So to make sure that when we come into a contraction, oftentimes, we place that curve down. And I don't want that to happen, because when you do that, your abdominals get poochy. Whereas if you maintain that natural curve in the spine and think of sliding the ribs to the hips, you can see my abdominals stay nice and flat. And that's what we want to achieve when we do our Pilates. So to help us with that, we're going to use the support of that football. So lift your hips up, place that ball in the small of your back, and then roll down, placing your tailbone down onto the mat. Now, don't let this football make you pooch out. Instead, think of pressing the spine down, feel your hip bones, and make sure those tips of the hip bones are pointing straight up to the ceiling. Now you've got nice flat abdominals. Now on your exhalation, I want you to think of sliding your ribs towards your hips. Exhale. Now the tips of the shoulder blades stay connected to the mat. So think of pressing those tips on the shoulder blades down into the mat. And that opens up and gives you a nice broad shoulder curve. Now also you'll have just enough room to put a fist between your chin and your chest. Now, if at any time you start to feel discomfort through the neck, you can always place that mushier ball behind your head and use it for support, okay? So, we're going to lie down, and now I want you to think of your rib cage. Bring the arms, but make sure you can see your hands peripherally, so don't let them go all the way to the floor. Now, think of drawing the rib cage in, knitting those ribs close together, right through there. And in other words, don't let everything flare out, yeah? Now, we're going to exhale and draw the ribs towards the hips. Now your arms are going to reach long, reach those fingertips, and we're going to beat the hands down and up. This is going to keep tempo with our breath. So just to analyze that section, lower the head again, relax, and our breath is going to do 5 short inhalations and 5 short exhalations. It's going to sound like this. So when we add in the arms moving up and down, we're going to keep the tempo with the breath, and at the same time, we're going to hold the contraction. Just do the breath for me with the arms first. So we're going to go inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so on the exhalation, just to add another increment to it, we're going to squeeze the ball between our legs 5 times. So we're going to go inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. So you're working the inner thighs on the exhalation, squeezing that ball 5 times. Let's give this a shot. Take a deep breath in, knit your ribs together, draw the rib cage down towards the hips, exhale, roll up, feel the tips of the shoulder blades pressing against the mat, reach those fingertips long, and we begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and squeeze, 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 squeeze. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and squeeze, 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 squeeze. Inhale. You can always grab that ball. Last set. And relax. Okay, now while we're taking that break and letting the abdominals relax, let's take the ball into our hands. We're going to do 5 presses with the hands, and always press with the palms of the hands and keep the fingers extended. It's going to be 5 presses as we go up to the ceiling and 5 presses as we come back down. Here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Feel that work in the pecs. Now go on an angle towards your knees. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more. Now go on an angle over your head. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And up. And 2 more. Here we go. And down. Last one. Hopefully you felt that in the chest. We're using isometrics, which they find really increases muscle tone a lot quicker than using dumbbells because you're pressing to your level of fitness. So really make sure when you're using that ball that you really press it. Treat it as if you were using weights. Be very aggressive with pressing that ball in. Thank you for joining me.